Hi everyone, I've just come up with a bit of a game that I've called Factors and Pairs for want of a bit of a name, because the whole object of the game is to work out numbers that what pairs will make up different numbers and what factors belong to certain numbers. So to play this, two players, pack of cards. Each player is dealt 3 cards. I keep them, don't reveal those to my opponent, but I can see them. Now, I add up the total. I've taken out the jokers. Ace is worth 1. Kings, jacks and queens are worth 10. So I add up the total of my cards. Now, I take one of the cards out and say to my opponent, there we go, and I tell them what my total is. My total is 22. Now my opponent knows I've taken 10 out because a king is worth 10. What must my remaining total be? So if that's 10 out of 22, so it must be 12. My opponent then tries to guess one of the numbers here. So they're thinking about what pairs of numbers make 12. Could be, well, there won't be a 12 in there. It could be a 10 and an ace. No, that won't work either. Could it be a 7 and a 5? Could be, that makes 12. Could it be an 8 and a 4? Could it be a 6 and a 6, a 9 and a 3? So my opponent guesses, I think you've got a 9 there. And I reveal, I'll say, no I don't. So they get nothing. I then look at my opponent. I haven't looked at these cards. I've seen them now because I've shown you. My opponent is looking at their cards and they take one of them out and they say, okay, my total is, that's 29. They take one of them out and they say, okay, what could one of my cards be? Now I can't see those apart from looking at the screen like I'm looking at you now. So I have 29, well, it must be a 10. It's nearly a 10 and a 10. So it must be, I think there's got to be a 10 in there, or a queen, or a king. So I'm going to go, it's a 10. And they reveal it. No, I know the king is worth 10, but I didn't say a king. So nothing happens there. We play again, back to me. I have 3 cards and I say my total is 22. And I'm going to take out one of them. There we go. I take out a 10. That means I must have 12 left here. There's lots of ways of making 12. Is it 8 and 4? Is it 9 and 3? Is it 6 and 6? Is it a 10 and 2? Is it a jack and 2? Is it a queen and 2? A king and 2? My opponent says, I think it's a jack, one of your cards. And sure enough it is. I give that to my opponent. They keep that. So we keep playing back and forth, 3 cards at a time. And if they guess one of the factors or one of the numbers of your cards, then they take that card. Keep playing until you've used the whole deck. We can change this game also. I just mentioned factors. If, for example, my total is 30, I take out that one, it's 10. That means this has got to be worth 20. So if they could say 10 plus 10, or they could say 5 and 4, 5 times 4, or 10 and 2, 10 times 2. So that's where we're introducing factors of numbers. You can choose what game you will use for the ages and the abilities of the children that you're working with. You could also reduce the number of cards you might like to take out, all of those cards, and just use the 10. You might just have numbers up to a range of 6, 7, 8. It's up to you. So it's just a case of what numbers are used, the pairs, to make other numbers. So just a simple one made up on the spur of the moment. Factors and pairs. I hope you enjoy it. Cheers.